Salvete omnes, mi nomen est Davus, linguanglice David. Welcome to my channel, Playing with Words. Today I'd like to chat about the 4 types of reading that I use learning Latin with LLPSI, Lingua Latina per se illustrata, pars prima familia romana by the late, great Hans Orberg. The 4 types of reading that I use are pre-reading, reading for comprehension, reading for fluency, and reading for delivery. If you've found this video, you probably know about this text. If not, it's a universal Latin course. It's written entirely in Latin, and all of the new vocabulary is either defined with Latin previously learned or with illustration. Notate bene, amici. When I come to a new chapter, my goal is not to get to the end of the chapter. My goal is to make the learning experience as vivid, as engaging as possible. If it's exciting, I'm going to remember it longer and internalize the material better. With that being said, my second nota bene is I read everything out loud in this text. I use my vocal apparatus that I use for any other language to develop the muscle memory. Not only am I producing Latin, it's sort of a whole body experience, breathing, phraseology, enunciation, and I'm listening to Latin at the same time, but this muscle memory helps me internalize things like, for example, in Latin, you can say with him, 2 different ways, at least, that I know of. Apudeum, cumeo. One preposition takes the object in the accusative. The other preposition takes the object in the ablative. I don't need to think about that because I have read it out loud enough times that it's just muscle memory. It just sounds right. It feels right coming out of my mouth. And so I focus on the journey, not the destination. Getting to the end of the chapter will take care of itself, and I read everything out loud. Pre-reading is simply looking in this text at the notes in the margin, the pictures, trying to get an idea of what the chapter is about. I'm whetting my appetite. Hopefully I'll formulate some questions that will be answered as I interact with the material. And it's quick. It's not systematic. I don't go through every single note in the margin. I could, but it's just whatever leaps out at me, whatever I see. An example of pre-reading, if I look at Capitulum Sextum Decimum, there's a picture of a ship on a choppy sea, tempestas. It's a storm. I see another picture of the boat or the ship in trouble. It looks like it's sinking. I see velum. That's a sail, obviously. Oh, next page I see directions. Septentriones, Occidens, Orients, Meridies. Oh, and here's a picture of a sun setting and rising, or rising and setting. So Orients, so Occidens. I think this chapter is going to be about a ship having trouble in a storm at sea. And right now I'm asking, who's on the ship? Where are they going? Did they survive? I want to read the chapter. That's pre-reading, and basically that's all I do, is I just see what jumps out at me. The second stage is reading for comprehension, and we've all seen the beginning reader who reads a sentence and is just trying to pick out the words but doesn't really understand what he or she is reading, and basically that's where I'm at. Tarquinius Oream serio atque attentiore animo fit, eam constantiam confidentiamque non in super abendam intelligit. Okay, I'm reading words. Some of them I think I know what they are. Some of them I don't. I don't know what I'm reading. At the beginning of reading for comprehension, I'm stumbling all over the place. I'm trying to figure out what words mean. At the end, I want to be able to read and understand what the sentence means without much trouble. This is one of the more exciting stages of reading. It's full of aha moments, like what does oh, look at that. I've seen this word before in English or Spanish or another language, and I never knew that meant that. It's so full of discovery. It's easy to be excited at this stage. An example of reading for fluency, let me go back to a chapter that I've already learned. The difference between what I've just read, and let's go to Capitulum 25. Theseus et Minotaurus, Theseus and the Minotaur. Tale sunt virimi puer, montes auri feminis policentur, tum promis oblifiscuntur ac feminas sine numo deserunt. That's the way men are, my boy. They promise women mountains of gold, and then they forget their promise and desert women without a single cent. So I understand what I'm reading. Obviously, Sarah's telling Quintus about that cad Theseus who left Ariadne on the island of Naxos, and after she got his butt out of the labyrinth where he killed the Minotaur, and she's like, men are like this. So I know what I'm reading, and I hope it comes across. An example of reading for delivery. Imagine you're in a casting call, right? You're trying out for a part, you're auditioning for a part, and if you read a sentence fluently, that's fine. Let's see here. The doctors come to see the sick kid. Let me see here. Here's a sentence. Medicus manum super pectus pueri imponit, eumque spirare et coreus palpitare sentit. Now, if I want to maintain eye contact with my audience, whoever I'm auditioning with, can I say that without looking at the text? Medicus manum super pectus. Okay, I'm lost. So this is what I do. Medicus manum super pectus pueri imponit. I'm not trying to memorize it. I'm just trying to short term be able to deliver it. Medicus manum super pectus pueri imponit. So I know what I'm saying, and I'm reading it, but I'm not reading it. Eumque spirare et coreus palpitare sentit. Medicus manum super pectus pueri imponit. Eumque spirare et cor palpitare sentit. So I'll say it again. I might change my voice. I might express it differently. Medicus manum super pectus pueri imponit, eumque spirare et coreus palpitare sentit. That's reading for delivery. All of the comprehension, the grammar, all that is under the surface. I'm focused on producing what was written without looking at what was written. And that's a whole other level of engagement. So these are the 4 types of reading that I use with this text. Pre-reading, reading for comprehension, reading for fluency, and reading for delivery. Quickly, reading for comprehension and reading for fluency, those 2 stages sort of blend into one another as I go through a chapter. I might read one section and I pick my way through it, and then the next time I comprehend it better and I read it more fluently, but then I'll hit the next section and I'm back to picking my way through meaning and learning structure and new vocabulary. And as I read through again, then I read it more fluently with more comprehension. How much time do I spend reading? I don't spend large chunks of time. 4 hours, that's crazy. I might spend 15-20 minutes several times a day as I'm engaging with the chapter. And that's it. So I welcome your comments. Do you do this type of reading as well? Do you do other types of reading? Valete omnes.